The art in this is far better than the art that they went with, like leaps and bounds. Hi guys, Geeker64 here, and today we're talking about Indiana Jones on Steelbook, and this is kind of a special video for me personally because this was the last video I was working on before I took a 6-month break. I did disappear from the channel for 6 months for personal and professional reasons, and then I came back in October, so at this point I've been back for longer than 6 months, so that's good. We're moving in the right direction, and I've enjoyed making videos again, but this one in particular I wanted to do when the Indiana Jones 4K Steelbook set was coming out, because I actually had a lot of thoughts on it prior to its release on the design choices, and after it's released it seemed like there's other people that kind of feel similar to me on that. Now, a lot of people did like the picture quality on the 4K upgrade, but I already own it on Blu-ray, so I did not upgrade to 4K. However, I would have if the packaging was more in line with what I wanted, which is kind of going to let me segue into why I'm doing this video here. This gives me an opportunity to share some of my thoughts on this Indiana Jones Steelbook and kind of complete the video that I partially started working on before my break. But the whole reason why I'm doing the video is because they actually announced a new Indiana Jones Steelbook. So before we talk about that new Indiana Jones Steelbook and what I think maybe the future of that's going to be and how that's going to work out, or how I hope it's going to work out, I think it's important to look at the initial 4K release from last year, share my thoughts on that, and ultimately share with you guys why I did not end up picking that up. So this is the art for the Steelbooks, and this is the main reason why I didn't pick them up, even though I'm predisposed to collecting Steelbooks because that's my preference in majority of cases. But this art is really, really bad. This art, no joke, I can slap this art together myself and really quickly, probably like a half an hour or something like that. This feels very rushed and thrown out there. The color palette doesn't even make any sense. Why'd they go with white for the Steelbook? Nothing in Indiana Jones, like palette wise, blends in with that. Like, you have perfect posters designed by Drew Struzan, who's one of the best poster artists, arguably the best poster artist and my favorite poster artist. You have posters designed by Drew Struzan and you don't even use that art. You go with this, the lamest design, one of the lamest Steelbook designs I've ever seen, which is a big reason why I decided not to go to it. I don't like these designs. I think they're really terrible. I mean, compare it with the inside here. So if you actually take a look at the inside covers, when you open it up, this is what the inside looks like. The inside art is far superior to the outside, which is insane to me. Like, I collect a lot of Steelbooks, and there are some Steelbooks that have like almost basically no interior art. There's ones with like minimal art, and then there's ones that have pretty solid art. But the fact that the Steelbook art on the inside is just so much better than the outside art, I found to be extremely odd. You know what, let me open this and we'll take a look at the art that they use for the inside of the books here, because this is a far better approach to what they should have done. They should have went with the art that's in here as opposed to that. So let's go ahead and open it up and take a look. There you go. Imagine that on the cover. Far more interesting. Or this on the cover. Or that. Or this. The art in this is far better than the art that they went with, like leaps and bounds. I mean, take a look at just the DVD boxes when the DVDs were released. Like, that looks premium. This looks like something special. Or this. Or that. Or even this. Like, all of that is better than these white boxes they went with for the Steelbooks. The thing is that's not just my opinion. There are several negative reviews on Best Buy. Now, this isn't a negative bombardment like the Spider-Man No Way Home Steelbook was, for arguably good reasons, I think. There were negative reviews on here about the packaging and how bad the packaging was. So let's take a look at some of those reviews. All right, this person gave it 4 stars, but the review's really not all that great. Good box set. Love the steel cases. I disagree on that, but everybody likes what they like. The only thing I don't like is the box that holds the whole set of 4 Steelbook cases. Inside the box, there is a piece that separates the 4 movie cases that moves around, making it where the cases don't go back in unless you move it to one side. They should have made this, made the box also a steel case. Yes, they've done that with multiple releases before, where the actual case that the steelbooks are housed in are a steel case. This other person gave it 5 stars, Fortune and Glory, Fortune and Glory. And he really liked the release. He gave it 5 stars, but even he said the same thing. Wish they housed them in a more sturdy case like the Rambo set or the Avengers one. And I'm pretty sure the Rambo set also had the, not styrofoam, had the foam inserts that kept the steelbooks together. Anybody who has that Rambo set, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that it did have the foam inserts. I don't own it. This person gave it 2 stars. Great movie, but terrible protection. Okay, the reviews are pretty spot on. The movie sounds and looks great, but the packaging and care of the steelbooks is terrible. You would also think a steelbook collection of steelbooks would come with a steelbook case to keep the other steelbooks safe, but nope. Wow, he fit four steelbooks into one sentence. He said the steelbooks 4 times in this sentence. I understand it's, you know, times, but if we had to wait a month or longer to get a proper steelbook collection, I wouldn't mind, since we don't have enough workers or resource to meet demand. If I had to pay a little extra, $10 to get that steelbook cover, or wait 2 months, I still wouldn't mind. At least I know the product quality is being considered. Best Buy still has crappy shipping, though, of course. Consistency. Best Buy shipping is very spotty. No bubble wrap or plastic, at least to protect the cases. Luckily, I order 2 sets all the time now, so at least I have a backup to keep the least damaged set and return. Well, that's actually not a bad idea, I guess. Just order 2 and just be like, oh, I'm going to take the one that, you know, isn't jacked up. Another 2-star review. Poor release. Shame on them. Drop the ball. Yuck. The packaging is awful, as others have stated. A European version of this item has the movies extra included on a regular Blu-ray on the steelbooks, along with the black foam dividers. Yeah, the black foam dividers are what I've been talking about, instead of these crappy white paper ones. Mine won't even let the steelbooks sit and level with each other. The second and third ones are popped out. My steelbooks had slices and cuts on them. Yeah, that happens quite a bit in shipping, because what happens is the steelbooks are in a box, and when the people are opening the box, they just use a box cutter and open them up, and a lot of times the steelbook spines are right there, so there's a long gash that gashes the steelbooks. The entire US edition wasn't handled well at all, and Best Buy knew of this when releasing. Take a look at the review photos so you know what you're in for. Here's a picture to kind of give you an idea of how bad these white dividers are. They're kind of dented. It's very cheap cardboard. Like, this is, there was not much money put into the actual design of this. So beyond the fact that the art for the actual steelbooks is piss poor, you also got really bad packaging, really cheap cardboard. But to get to the point of this video, that is the fact that the Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark Steelbook has been announced. It's out there. I noticed it about 5 weeks ago or so, and they have not announced the remainder of the movies yet, just the Raiders of the Lost Ark Steelbook. Although I'm hoping that they do individual releases for the rest of the movies. Now, if you look at the actual art that they chose for Raiders of the Lost Ark, it is the classic poster design. This is what people wanted from the initial steelbooks to begin with. Or at the very least, if you're going to go with original designs for those steelbooks, make something interesting, make something cool. If you're not going to make something interesting or as cool as the original poster, then why even do it? Just release the ones with the original poster. So with this being the case, I may actually start upgrading to 4K and getting these individual steelbooks if they announce the rest. I would even be up for getting Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Yeah, it's definitely the worst out of the 4 Indiana Jones movies, but there's parts of it that I like. And, you know, I'm a completionist when it comes to the movies. If I only watch it once or twice, it's worth that. I don't think it's quite as bad as what everybody says. Now, I'm not going to say that's good or to put my neck out on the line and say that, you know, to defend it. But I think that it gets some undue hate, mainly due to a lot of the green screen, which I hate as well. I mean, even the back of the steelbook looks nice. You know, the fact that you've got the world map and then the Ark of the Covenant, like, even if that was the basic design they went for that initial steelbook set, that would be more interesting than the terrible white steelbooks, in my opinion. You'd still need better housing, so definitely have some foam inserts there. But the interior art obviously has the Ark. You got a little mini poster. It's just a nice little thing here, and I can't wait I really am hoping that they decide that they're going to announce the rest of them, and that way I can just collect them individually. I think that's the way to go at this point. For those who did not get the upgrade to 4K with the initial set, there was also a base 4K set as well. You didn't have to get the Steelbooks. If you just wanted the 4K upgrade, you didn't have to get the Steelbooks. There was a base set option. But still, I didn't really want to go with it. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because with this individual Steelbook coming out, it kind of incentivizes me to where, yeah, I might decide to upgrade. I personally feel very complete doing this video. The fact that I worked on this, you know, almost a year ago now, a little over a year ago at this point, and I'm finally getting around to finishing, you know, what I started, and being able to say, hey, there's hope. Like, instead of just doing a video saying, I don't like these designs, I can say, hey, there's a Steelbook coming out that I actually like. So, but what do you guys think? Were you one of the people who picked up that initial 4K set? Do you guys like the designs on the Steelbooks? I haven't really met anybody who was really too hyped on them. Mostly it was just people who like the Steelbooks. Did you hold off on it, or did you get the basic 4K set? I'm a big Indiana Jones fan, so I understand why somebody would just go ahead and upgrade to the 4K, but I'm fine with the Blu-ray at this point. But I'm going to be upgrading again, as I said before, I think, with these individual 4K releases. Do you think that they're going to release the rest of them? Because as of the filming this video, they haven't announced anything. So I'm hoping that they do. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you to everyone who checked out this video. Thank you, subscribers. You guys are awesome. Welcome new subscribers. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Geechu64, and I'll always tell you the truth.